Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for All New X-Men Chapter 2 of Battle of the Atom, issue 16. Before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. First update is that on Dark Avenger Inc., we are doing in-depth reviews on every Villains Month title, so definitely go check out Dark Avenger Inc. The in-depth reviews I did on Dark Avenger Inc. for Villains Month are Gorilla Grodd issue 1, The Flash issue 23.1, and Detective Comics issue 23.1, Poison Ivy. So if you want to go check out those reviews, definitely go check out Dark Avenger Inc. And guys, I still have Comic Uno episode 12, and I have about 17 comics, and that's the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show, and there's a lot of exclusive comics, so here are the exclusive comics. Poison Ivy, Detective Comics issue 23.1, The Flash issue 23.1, Gorilla Grodd, Venom issue 40, Trillium, issue 2, Green Arrow, Count Vertigo, issue 23.1, and Superior Spider-Man, issue 3. So if you want to go check out those reviews, go to Comic Uno, episode 12. But let's talk about All New X-Men, Battle of the Atom, chapter 2. Let's talk about the cover. Cool cover. I think this is probably one of my less favorite covers, though. The art is not that great. It reminds me of the Wolverine and the X-Men art. Very, very sketchy, but the art on the cover is not the art we get to see in this story. It's actually the all-new X-Men art that I love for this series. So it's not art. It's not abstract, but very in tone for X-Men. So, but the cover art's not that great. I also don't like the yellow banner. I don't think it fits that well. But that is the Battle of the Atom kind of banner that they're using. So that's one complaint I do have. But I've been looking forward to Battle of the Atom, actually. You know, I'm not a humongous fan of Marvel events. I actually dropped Infinity. Yeah, so if you notice, I'm not reviewing Infinity issue 2s because I did drop it. I was getting 17 comics. I could not get another one if I didn't totally enjoy it, so I did drop Infinity. But I'm a sucker for X-Men events. You know, Second Coming was good, and I feel like in recent years, X-Men has had the better events, and I think it's more organized and more towards the characters. You know, they have a great balance of making it character-driven, but also blockbuster action, which I feel Marvel sometimes tends to lean towards more the blockbuster action and less to the character development and character-driven stories. But X-Men knows how to balance both of them, and I actually trust Brian Michael Bendis with that. I actually like Brian Michael Bendis as a writer. I know some people don't, but I think he's doing a great job with X-Men, so I was looking forward to this a lot. But let's see if I like this issue. There are some spoilers from part 1, so I would either watch my part 1 review first or read part 1 on your own, because there are a couple of spoilers. I will be having spoilers in this review also, so if you don't want any spoilers, I recommend you watch this after you read the issue. So in this issue, we get to see that the X-Men from the future come to warn the X-Men of the present that the past X-Men have to go back into the past or everything will be destroyed. Now, I will tell you who exactly these people are. I will not tell you who this person is yet, because she's actually really important, and we learn her identity in this issue. So we got Molly Hayes, who's actually from the Runaways. She's like the little girl, I think Princess Power. I love the Runaways, so that's kind of a cool treat to get to see Molly Hayes of the future. I actually thought she was Kitty, though, because she looks exactly like Kitty. And then we have Deadpool in the middle with the red hood. Then we got Beast. Then we got, who else we got? We got Professor X's grandson, and we got Kitty Pryde, which I knew that was Kitty Pryde because she looks like Days of Future Past Kitty Pryde, except with more gray hair. And then we have this abominable snowman of Iceman, which Iceman's like, I'm gonna look like that, and the past X-Men's like, I'm gonna look like that and that. Yeah, so those are all the future X-Men. Definitely gotta tell you guys who they were because it's a little confusing if you don't know. And I think that's kind of the surprise of this issue also, is to find out who exactly these future X-Men are, you know, who from the future are coming to warn the present X-Men. So we get to see them. They have a kind of a battle because Jean Grey doesn't trust them because Jean's like, why are they blocking their minds? You know, I want to stay here. I'm not going back to the future to get my mind wiped and die. So Jean Grey goes with Cyclops and they run away, and the future X-Men's like, alright, this is bad news. We gotta get these kids back. The whole point is then to go to past or else the world's gonna be ruined. And we actually saw a glimpse of that in part 1, where we get Sentinels attacking, and in the first part of the chapter, in the first page, really, and then we get to see that more in the middle coming into the present. So they're like, well, the world's not going to be good for mutants if they don't go back to the past. Of course, that's always every X-Men event. Everything's going to turn bad for the mutants. But we do learn that they're not hiding stuff. Maybe we can't trust them. Maybe Jean Grey's right, but they have a pretty good motivation to say, you know, we're telling you the truth. They have to go back to the past. So now they got to find Jean Grey, because guess who comes from the future? We find out exactly who's wearing that mask. It is Jean Grey of the future. So maybe Jean Grey is alive? Or is that past Jean Grey living throughout time that she grows up into the regular Jean Grey? I don't know. It's kind of confusing, but I was like, whoa, that shocked me. And that's really what events should do. I think it should shock you through a character, and not by a death all the time. It doesn't always have to be a death. It could be just a shocker like this where you weren't expecting that, and have Jean Grey, regular Jean Grey, be here. So I thought that was a big shocker. Again, very good character development here in this issue. Great shockers. And this is how you do an event. I'm glad Marvel did this. Honestly, I love Battle of the Atom so far. I think the first 2 parts are great. I think with each issue we have good surprises. There's great character development, good cast of characters. And it wasn't annoying, you know. It wasn't that type of time travel story where it's like, wait, present, past, who? You know, there are a lot of time travel aspects in this, but I felt like they didn't make it confusing here, which was really good. You know, it could really be confusing. There are 3 different people here from different times, and that could get really confusing. Even Rachel Gray, you know, she's from another time, so there's like 4 different people from different times. But it wasn't confusing here. And actually, I want to say the Jean Grey and Rachel interaction was great. The real Jean Grey and Rachel interaction. But yeah, this story really blew my mind. I wasn't expecting a lot from Battle of Atom, but I really enjoyed this. The art was great, and I think it was just a really good beginning. I think with every part, it had that shocker of, what? Who's what? Because I feel like with Battle of Atom, we didn't really know what we were expecting with it. We knew Nightcrawler was going to come back and everything, but we didn't know what is actually going to happen with Battle of Atom, and this is how you tell a story, and I'm glad that Marvel's doing it the right way with Battle of Atom. Might not like Infinity, but I'm glad I'm following an event with this X-Men story, because I was really impressed with it. I give this 5 stars. Honestly, my top 3 for this week was really hard to plan out, because I loved all these 3 issues. This was really close to being my pick of the week. There is another issue that was my pick of the week, but again, it was really hard. They are all really tied. They are all really great. And if I could pick them all as my part 1, you know, number 1 pick, I would. But yeah, great issue. Pick this up. I recommend Battle of the Atom, especially if you've been following X-Men. If you've been following all new X-Men, it's a great start for this event. Hopefully X-Men events are promising. But yeah, pick this up. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rad Situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook page. See you guys later. Bye.